before I send the dog off on a blind retrieve, I always have the dog work piles. And what I mean by piles is exactly what I'm saying, is that I'll have more than one dummy. It could be 5, it could be 10. But when I first start working piles with dogs, I usually only have 2, then I have 3, then I have 4, and I increase it that way. Now, the dummies that I use, they all are scented with bird scent, commercial bird scent. Because when the dog starts going on the blind retrieve, the dog isn't going to be able to visually see it. They have to be able to smell it. So the wind is blowing in this direction, so Charlie is already up and I see his nose, he's smelling. And that's what we want. So I'm going to put these down here, and if you notice, I have this, I'm doing it along this hill. I could be doing this along a fence line. That would work good too. I want Charlie to get into the habit of running in a straight line and a straight line only. So before we send him on the blind retrieve, I'd do this a lot. I'd work him on piles for maybe 2-3 weeks. Okay? So let's have Charlie work these 2 dummies real quick. Let me move the camera. So when you start working your dog from piles, it is a marked retrieve, meaning the dog is going to see you go place these. The difference between a blind retrieve and a marked retrieve is that the dog isn't going to see you place the dummies. And you increase how complicated it is as the dog learns. You wouldn't just like we're going to have Charlie smells these. They have bird scent on them. See how he's responding to these? His nose is up, he smells them. You wouldn't just take Charlie out into a field with tall grass or cattails or something and expect him to be able to do a blind retrieve. It's a lot of muscle memory, so we want Charlie to do piles first. So let's have him work these 2 dummies so that you understand what I'm talking about. Charlie, down. This will be a marked retrieve because he saw me place them. All right? Now the reason why we don't use more than 1 dummy is that he's probably going to have a tendency to, which one do I take? So try and use dummies that are exact same color and exact same texture. We do have one down there that has a rope on it, which he might want to pick one or the other. That's not really what we want. So we might just work him on the 2 dummies for a while until he gets the hang of just grabbing it and coming back to heel. Charlie! Hold, heel. Come on, buddy. Heel. Sit. Now, sit. Get over here. Sit. Charlie! No, here. Hold. Heel. Sit. Drop. Good boy. Okay, so that's working piles. Now I'm going to take Charlie inside, and then I'm going to place the dummies, and we are going to do a blind retrieve. And when you first do the blind retrieve, you want to do it in the same place you've been working piles. You just don't want the dog to see you place it. That's the first thing. Then we'll start making it more complicated. Then we'll start putting it in taller grass. You want the dog to understand what's going on. So let's take Charlie inside. No, Charlie, here. He wants to go on a retrieve. So it hasn't been that long. It's been about a half an hour. And I'm going to place this dummy. And then I'm going to go get Charlie. Okay, so I went and got Charlie. It's been about a half an hour. Now he can smell it. He can smell it. He didn't see me place it. This is not a marked retrieve. This is considered a blind retrieve. And we would do more of these in this general area until Charlie gets the hang of it. Charlie will get the hang of it real quick. Like, we might start moving away from this hill. In other words, like, Charlie will be inside. I might start moving the dummy more into the middle of the field, so that he picks up when I give him the command he's supposed to go get something. He doesn't need to see me placing it down on the ground. Do you understand? Let's see if Charlie will do a blind retrieve. He's gonna do it. Why do I know that? Because I have fresh grouse scent on the dummy, and the wind is blowing this way. He already can see it with his nose. Remember, the dog's #1 sense is scenting. It isn't eyesight. Their eyesight is about as crappy as ours, honestly. And we have the advantage of standing up tall, so we can see things that they can't. If you're ever wondering if your dog can see it, get down on the ground. Charlie's about, when he's like running or whatever, he's probably not, his eyes are probably 9 inches off the ground. Charlie! He's going right for it, see? Charlie, here, heel. Come on, buddy. Hold. No, get back here. Hold. Sit. Hold. Drop. Good boy, Char. It's a good. No jump. No jump. So you see that? That's the difference between a blind retrieve and a marked retrieve. All right? And this would just be a fun bumper. In other words, like, he was good. Charlie, I want to keep his attitude up. Oh, he's smelling some kind of coyote poop or something. Charlie, get over here. Here. Come on, buddy. Here. So this would just be, he doesn't even have to wait for it. This is just, go get it, Charlie. All right? So work the dog on piles before you start doing blind retrieves. And make sure that your blind retrieves at first. Charlie, here, heel. Make sure that your blind retrieves, it's not real difficult. You don't want to put them in a lot of brush. Make it real easy. Remember, dog training's a lot of muscle memory. Okay? So work your piles and then start working blind retrieves. Make sure you're working piles for a week or two and then start doing blind retrieves, but make it easy. Make it easy for the dog at first, and then start increasing difficulty as you go. If you're working with an English Cocker that you're training to be an upland game dog or a waterfowl dog, their scenting ability is superior to a lot of dogs. It really is. I put the English Cocker up there easily with the GSP, definitely with the GSP. Anything like that, any of the bird dogs, the English Cocker, a lot of people don't use them to hunt with, but you should because they're fucking awesome. Charlie would make an awesome grouse dog. He could work quail. The only disadvantage you have with English Cocker is that they have short legs, so they're not going to be able to cover a lot of distance like a GSP can. My dog Tonka would run circles around Charlie. But I'll tell you one thing about the English Cocker. They have heart, and they're certainly going to try,